Just got done watching Oleksandr Usyk versus Briedis, World Boxing Super Series semifinals. Usyk won majority decision. It was 114, and two 115s to 114. No, 115s to 113. Judging by people's fight card on the little Facebook Live video I was watching, it was very close. Some people had Briedis up, some people had Usyk up, some people had it even throughout the fight. But let's talk about it. Like I said, Usyk was just, had more energy, higher work rate. It wasn't that he was landing, all the clean shots. And British was more that counter punching prowler, picking his shots and trying to counter. In the beginning of the fight, he was pushing Usyk back, like for a few brief moments. And on the inside, he was having some success, working. But, he just reverted back to, boxing, punching, moving, and trying to counter Usyk. And Usyk was just throwing, like, he has a real amateurish type style where he just throws a lot of punches without sitting down on his shots. So it takes away from his power. And he was just throwing, he was just overwhelming this British guy with volume. Even if it wasn't effective, 100% during the round, it was looking good because he was coming forward and he was throwing. And British was picking his shots, trying to counter him. And he had some success with an uppercut, a couple body shots, a couple jabs, slipped in between the combinations. But it wasn't enough because he was pot-shotting. He was picking one shot at a time, and his power wasn't affecting Usyk. And Usyk was still able to work. And he was just outworking him. And like I predicted, I just thought he would just outwork him. I seen British try that, like, looping right hand, like he throws that he knocked out, numerous opponents with one time. And, he wasn't able to land it again. I seen him throw it one time. He partially landed it. And, to me, I didn't score the fight, but I thought Usyk was the clear winner by at least 2 or 3 points. He was just outworking him like I thought he would. It wasn't nothing that he was doing that seriously hurt British throughout the fight. It was the fact that he was just, his workload was amazing. The rate that he's able to work at is amazing. But I seen some flaws in his game, how to beat him, and I thought, the flaw, the way that beat him was the way I gave it in the breakdown prediction video, was to get him on the inside and work him on the inside. And British did that early in the fight, and he did it the last round, pushed him back. When he pushed Oleksandr Usyk back, he wasn't doing nothing. He was going into that shell he goes into, and then he was just trying to counter him on the back end. And British fought the wrong fight throughout the fight. I believe if you pressed the action a lot earlier and worked the body and shot that uppercut and split the guard, he would have had some more success. But saying that, he just didn't have the stamina in the conditioning to keep up with Usyk's work rate. So that's why he was circling the way he was circling and then trying to pick his shots. And then when Usyk worked, he was just, covering up and then trying to counter him. And it was very difficult to counter. Even though, he was throwing, wild shots, he wasn't sitting down on. It was nothing that really, seriously hurt British throughout the fight, because this guy Usyk is very amateurish. He doesn't sit on his shots. And if you're able to jab, if you're able to jab with him and take away his jab and get on the inside and maul him, you can beat this guy and push him back. He's not a big puncher because he doesn't know how to sit on his punches. He has impeccable footwork. His footwork is great. But until he learns to sit on his punches, he's not going to be a threat at heavyweight. If that's his ambitions, which he says he wants to fight Anthony Joshua and some of the other big heavyweights, his footwork is going to take him a long way. But if he doesn't sit on his shots, it ain't going to work. That works for Lomachenko at the lower weight classes, but it's not going to work at cruiserweight. He might run into the wrong guy who's able to, use their jab and that's bigger, longer, and taller, or just, just knows how to, speak his language. And that's kind of, work his body, get on the inside and grind him on the inside and take away that work rate. And if he deflate those legs and that core, the body shots, and slow his work rate down, you can get this guy. He's not unbeatable. He's not invincible by any means, even at cruiserweight. I think it's some guys up there, that could potentially go up and get him. But it was a close fight. But I definitely gave the advantage to Usyk just on ring generalship, and work rate. You know, Briedis was looking for 1 or 2 shots too often. He was looking for 1 shot too often. And that's, you know, what he fell into in Usyk. He advanced with a majority decision to the finals. And we'll see with the Cuban and Abel Sanchez guy who wins that fight. That's going to be another great fight. But this fight definitely lived up to the bill, lived up to the hype. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed watching Oleksandr Usyk. And I definitely want to see Briedis again. I hope this tournament keep living up to the hype because he's exceeding it and bust through it. We go.